couper mon micro parce que ça...
Ah ouais, l'écho, ouais. Attends, je vais couper Discord aussi.
J'arrive. « 89-56.
89,
56. 89-56.
game drop, start the 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 game drop, start game drop. Stop the game drop. Stop the game drop.
All right, and welcome to another exciting broadcast in which we are seeing a match that is going to you live from all the way over in the European quarter. We got E.V.F. versus the Unit, and I am here with a old caster who is making a comeback now. I'm here with SethBowden. At the same time, he might be still loading into the room. So it's actually looking to be a very exciting show. It's been a fun Season 6 so far. We did just end up finishing OC5. And with that, let's take a look at some. So right now also, we do have the Unit that are loading up into the room. They are at a 1-win, 2-loss score so far. So they got a little bit of work to do. But we'll see what they are able to do. So, I mean, they've had some pretty close games. I mean, they did pretty good against Boss Fight with a 14-7 victory. Or loss. Barely a loss, though. And because, they fought hard. But unfortunately, the caps at the end from Boss Fight managed to get them 2-5-3 score. Tough to do, but this match should be a very good one. On the other side, we do have E.V.F. also, and they are also currently at a 1-2 win-loss ratio, so nothing happy there, but they did get a kind of somewhat tie with the Vikings. It was a very close match. Fortunately, the other two matches very close, but one of them was in E.V.F's favor, so bad. Seth, are you here? Seth, sorry, I had you muted still. That was totally my fault. Seth, are you here?
I am here.
Awesome. Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself? How is that? Is that better?
Oh, yeah. Way better. Thank you.
Perfect.
All right. And so, man, it looks like we're going to have a good match day. How are you thinking it's going to fare? I mean, both these teams have some pretty big potential, especially in the EuroLeague.
Yeah, I haven't actually had much experience with EVP at all. I have played quite a bit against some of the members of the Unit, me Sideways in particular. We've played quite a few matches together, both within the league and in just public lobbies, and they are not a bad team at all. I think their previous matches showed that as well.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And here's the interesting part. Loma Miyagi, especially, he used to be on Lemon Squad, and Lemon Squad is one of the higher-up teams. They're getting up there and starting to give some other veteran teams a very good run for their money. He left the team and has joined the Unit. That's a big pickup for them. So, yeah, it's tough to call. From what I've seen, though, I might just give this over to the Unit. Because I might like their logo a little better.
Well, that's always important. But yeah, the fact that they're also a new team as far as playing together, but all of them do have experience within the league as well. As we were talking before the cast, 3 of their last 4 matches have been casted. So obviously people are very interested in how they're going to do throughout the rest of the season. I mean, it is only week 3. So as they go through, it's going to be interesting to see how quickly do they climb that ladder.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and this is one of the most exciting things about being a part of this league, especially with so many matches being casted right now. It's giving, especially these newer teams, an opportunity to come out with guns blazing and just really making some strong statements. I mean, we've had Blaze who have done the same thing, Mob Squad, and now the Unit who are coming out and actually breaking into making some tough matches for those more veteran teams.
Yeah, it's just really exciting to see just how the league is progressing as a whole. I know when I first got into the league, there's really only like 12, 13, 14 teams that were really playing consistently. And now, I mean, you see there's 40 teams. About 30 of them are actually playing week in and week out. And all the competition, it's starting to really balance itself out. You're starting to see a lot of top-level play, even from teams that may not have the experience to say a Globochem or a beginners or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing that I've actually really loved to see lately, and we've seen a lot more of we've seen some of the newer teams and a lot more of the veteran teams picking up the skill, but it's the use of the shield. And we are going to be playing on Suburbia first, so there's a good chance that we might see some of the shield being used here also.
Yeah, with the addition of the stun gun being that one-hit kill gun, it also has the laser sight as well, which is very useful when you're using a one-handed weapon. It works perfectly with the shield. I think that's a great addition that they've put into the game, and it adds to a lot of different gameplay.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing that was also interesting too that we experienced at OC5 was not boss fight, sorry, Globochem. Instead of shooting above the shield or to the side of the shield, he actually shot under the shield. He did a shield flick under, because a lot of people try to shoot above you. They don't try to necessarily shoot below you. So he got some very strong kills with that. And hopefully, if you are using a shield, you are going to be picking up that tidbit of knowledge right there.
Yeah, I've actually, since seeing that, I've taken that into practice, and it is a lot easier said than done. That is not, it seems like it would be a pretty simple move. It's really not. A one-handed shot, it doesn't matter if it's above or under, it is just so hard. That first bullet has to be on target, because your second and third, there's no way that they're going to hit. And so he was doing some incredible work at that tournament.
Oh, most definitely, and nothing less can be expected from Globochem, that's for sure. It does look like they are going to be necessarily, they have agreed to start with a 4v4 starting. They both are missing one player, but they should be in there momentarily. But until then, they just have to start the round, and they've both agreed to do that.
Now that is very interesting, because you put in so much practice covering all 5 angles on defense, having different attacking positions with 5 people on offense. I've played in a 4v4 before, and it totally changes the entire strategy. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams match up with that.
Yeah, and especially with it being white car objective, the number one thing you really don't want to do is have an enemy come over into the backyard, because once they're in the backyard, they have a very strong threat that they can make on those who are protecting the objective.
All right, we are underway.
Nades also have become a very crucial part, and you've seen a lot of teams, especially practicing lately, very precise nade throws, and they've tried to get some very strong presence there.
Of course, for those of you who are not used to this game or to this map, if you're not used to the competitive scene, there is a 15-second delay. You're not allowed to throw a frag or flash grenade within the first 15 seconds of this map. So you'll see them holding on to those grenades, but they can use smoke early, so you'll see a lot of smoke.
Yeah, but right now, it looks like E.V.P is really taking the slow game. They're trying to figure out where possibly people are, maybe trying to get an early pick. But right now, yeah, they're really holding their ground.
When you're only playing with 4 angles, you have to figure out where's the opening, because there's definitely an opening. They just have to figure out where exactly are they not looking.
Here's the scary part about also being on the unit right now. Me Sideways is covering a spot we saw Lonely Viper do in one of the finals, but so that's going to give E.V.P a sense of, hey, we might be able to cross the street safely and get into the back. Oh! It was nade? Yep, that was a friendly nade.
Yeah, Jamie was just taken out on the front porch, so he's down. He is not out, but that was not expected.
Ow. Like a nade to wake you up for the first round, that's for sure. So, and the nice thing about being in Jamie's position, especially when you're actually up and able to move, is you are able to hear people who are coming around you in lane 1 or 2, that area. and are able to call it out to the rest of your team. It does look like he is going to get a revive. Though, other than that nade, not a single bullet's been fired, not a single person spotted. It's been...
Yeah, so still, I mean, we're closing in on 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the round. It is still 4 men up for both teams, so they are definitely trying to slow play this for sure.
Are they going to try to maybe make a move within the final minute? See if they can trip them up? They haven't budged 1 inch, really.
It's almost like you have 2 defensive teams here. I hope they remember which helmet they picked up.
EVP might just be like, you know, hey, if we're going to try to get them to maybe move out and rush us, and once they do rush us, we're going to be able to get some picks off, but they are checking their watch, but...
What they're doing is they're just looking for any movement at all. If you take a look at Thought, he's with EVP, he's looking through the hedges right now. He's just trying to see, is there somebody behind that red car? Is there somebody who's looking through the paneling on the fence? They're trying to find that one advantage point, because if you take out one and you know there's only 4 of them in total, it really does make some very large holes that you can just rush through, and you can finish the round in only 20 seconds of combat.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. But now time is starting to crunch. The smoke is coming out. Looks like they are going to start making their moves. Some shots are being fired. Was going to have to be careful with sideways, though, being right back there. Got him. Like a nade out. It's going to be just short. Jamie's position here is going to be absolutely crucial, though, as they try to move up.
We are starting to get a 2-man push here on the left side. They do pull out their tablets. We have grenades coming in on Mansour, but I think it's going to be too far. No! He takes out 2! Mike and Mansour are both taken out with that 1 grenade. Jamie's now coming around the corner.
And a friendly nade just killed one of them. Just because he had it pulled. He was about to throw it. Now the unit is moving in, confirming both kills, and now Thought being the last man standing. Very well played on the unit part.
That was a perfect grenade. It looked like it was a little bit overthrown, but it ended up finding both targets instead of just one. Very, very fortunate grenade for the unit.
Yeah, and I really do like what Jamie did. He went and confirmed the kill, and then instead of trying to pursue and work around, even though they did not know where the last guy was, he moved back into position, and now they still have a 4v1. That is exactly the situation you want to be in, especially with 30 seconds left.
At this point, he really just needs to push up, see if he can secure some kills. He really can't slow play anymore. He is running out of time.
Definitely can't. I mean, 15 seconds left. You just need to kind of run out, guns a-blazing, and hope for some kind of miracle. Oh, they got a trade. That is it. Got it 1. Or, sorry, the unit got it 1. Nice job, though. Now, we are going to get a chance to see F is going to...
Where did we get P from? It is E.V.F, isn't it?
Yeah, it is E.V.F. I keep saying P. That is completely my fault.
It's the, that's the French pronunciation. It's with a P. That's what it is.
Oh. I love seeing, that's one of the best things that I love about these objectives is we have a chance to be able to see how these same teams are going to defend these objectives. I mean, there can be completely different play styles. I mean, when we saw boss fight versus beginners. We saw them play, you know, the same exact positions. We saw them do some things different, and it's great to see because you can really go and apply that to your own teams and figure out what best positions work for you guys based on what you've seen other top teams do.
Absolutely. I think that's what you've seen a lot of lately because so many more games are being casted, so many more strategies are being revealed. And so a lot of these newer teams, they may have the shooting skills, but maybe not quite have the competitive strategies. They're able to get on board so much quicker.
Exactly. And with that being said, here we go. Round number. Still anyone's game. I mean, heck, we've seen at times people who have been able to get down 0-3 and then still come back and manage to win 4-3. That happened a lot.
One thing that's interesting about this game is the fact that you can actually listen in on the comms. You can actually hear what they're saying, the strategies they're saying, and they actually just said at 3:30 we're moving. So I think they're planning on slow playing it, and at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, that's when they're going to do the hard push. And as you can see, they've pretty much taken that center house, and that's exactly what they're doing now.
Very interesting position. Pushed up pretty far, especially considering it is a 4v4. But if they're able to get some good pickoffs, it's going to be absolutely huge for E.V.F.
If Jamie or Mansour move right now, there's going to be a trade or just a straight up kill. They are both staring right at each other through that hedge. But it doesn't seem like either one's seeing each other.
Yagi's going to have to be careful, too. If he peeks out in that little alleyway, he's off. Probably won't have enough time to react and get a shot off.
I feel like deja vu. Everyone is content holding their position. Mansour has his tablet at his feet. He's planning on going nowhere fast. Mike is moving back and forth, just trying to see if he can see anything through the hedge, but nobody is making a press right now.
And that's been the really interesting part, especially the differences between that we've seen with the European teams versus the American teams. Generally, the American teams especially seem to be a little bit more aggressive.
Now, Mansour actually does have a grenade on Jamie. They did see each other. They shot at each other. Grenade was too high. It did not land. But they both know that they're there.
Ick just went down. Mike's position has been given away, but more shots blazing. He is down but not out. Me sideways getting that hit. Now Mike still will be able to give callouts. He'll be able to call out Lone Miyagi. It is even. 3v. Another nade out. Getting monster FR.
He is down but not out. Again, that grenade, you can tell that the range on the grenades are pretty decent because I thought that was going to be a little bit over, but clearly not.
A very beautiful throw. Another smoke coming out. Still, he will be able to give callouts, especially as two are coming around the bushes, and will have some work to do. Ooh, Will.
Jamie taking great shots out from underneath that Humvee, and he actually lands one shot on Will.
Will's, though, firing completely blindly. He's not even poking his head up at all. Jamie comes doing some cover fire. Nice trade there. Me sideways almost getting on objective, but barely being picked out. There was just barely a hole in the smoke for him to be spotted. Now it's a 1v1. Lone Miyagi versus Thought.
Thought's going to go right to Will's position. It's a great spot to hold that corner. If they try and go for the cap, Thought's just going to be able to come around that white car, use it for protection, and clean them up. So Miyagi's going to have to figure out a way to get into the backyard or even come down this side of the road and get a pick. But if he comes around the right side, Thought definitely is going to have an advantage.
Yeah, you got to be very careful about that. He is scavenging right now, Lomiyagi, for some stuff from Dead Comrade. Be a smart pick for him. At the same time, he still has a minute 45, so some decent amount of time left. At this point, one of the biggest things that you're trying to do as a player right now is basically a process of elimination on figuring out where this last defensive player is. Exactly what Lomiyagi is doing.
The best thing about E.V.F right now is that Thought is holding the objective. He's not running off. He's not trying to get a strange spot to catch him off guard, because if he does happen to get to that objective, of course, it's going to be a 2-point win as opposed to a 1-point win.
And picked off. It is now even. E.V.F winning that round. Wow, that was just freaking easy. Good job, E.V.F. At the same time, we have been messaging Mr. Death on giving us t-shirts of the winning of the Marsoc and Volk logos, because that's just sick. I would totally wear that as a t-shirt. Fortunately, hasn't given us a response. Happen. Still, though, we've had some very strong defensive plays right there. Past 2 rounds.
Absolutely, both teams have been kind of holding spots fairly well. You don't see a lot of people running around. They really have their designated spots that they're hitting, and then they're maintaining those spots. They're showing a lot of patience on both sides. It shows for a little bit of slow gameplay, but at the same time, it's being conservative on defense that allows you to be aggressive on offense. You have to win on the defensive side.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's one of the craziest things that we've also seen. Nades have been a very crucial aspect of this. We've had, what, 4 nade kills already?
Exactly.
Oh, and I mean, that's very difficult to do, because you have to be so exact. You have to throw the nade, and it does take a lot of practice to do. If you throw it too hard, it will go too far, and your positioning on it has to be precise. I've been very impressed with E.V.F and the unit on how they've been able to throw their nades.
Absolutely, and not to mention the fact that you're actually throwing it within your play space. So very high likelihood you're going to hit something within your room as well, unless you have a very large play space. So it's not always the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, do not look at my walls right now. They are absolutely atrocious.
Same thing with my ceiling.
I have also hit my door before the corner. That hurt like no other.
All right, so let's see if E.V.F, if they're going to do a little bit more of an aggressive push here. They have pushed all the way up to the middle, same positions as before.
Surprisingly, also, no one's really taken middle house. They're leaving that almost up for grabs. Will's going to be moving in right now, trying to take it. That's usually one of the biggest fighting grounds that you have. People are trying to take the middle house.
Yeah, especially with the uplink position, you would expect one person to be in that house because you can watch anybody coming around the right side by that APC. I'm shocked to see that everyone is playing back.
Oh, and that's one of the best things that you can do, especially as the Marsoc team, is you can really throw people off where you play slow at first, and then all of a sudden you come out guns a-blazing, and you're moving fast, you're moving uniform. One team that we've seen do really good with that was SMC Tactical. They are very good on this map with switching up their speed.
I don't know if you saw that grenade trajectory, but that should have killed Jamie. It landed on the backside of the uplink, and the uplink actually saved Jamie. So that was a perfect grenade. It just bad luck right there, and Jamie's able to maintain that porch right in front of the objective.
That would have been a very difficult revive to get also.
Absolutely, and the unit have pretty much given up the playground. Again, a very, very strong choke point for this map. And they've pretty much said, you know what, we'll let them have it. We'll get them when they come around the front. But sometimes that's there's too much chaos to really be able to do that. If they have a lot of smokes, I don't know. I feel like somebody should have pushed up just a little bit.
Yeah, I would completely agree. Yeah, especially because if you're trying to get that kind of position, you're trying to make big movement, and you've placed your nade well. It's one thing to really start rushing in and trying to make a statement right there. Agi managing to able to finish off though, but he's trapped on the second story of the house. Very nice pick from Lomiyagi.
Now we do have a couple of smokes coming out, but it looks like it won't be affecting Nick very much because he is behind that tank and the smoke has gone behind him. So he's going to be able to get some good shots here if anybody tries to come around this house onto the objective.
One thing I am also very impressed with is not a lot of people are peeking, not a lot of people are getting out of position. They're holding it tight, and they're being very patient.
That was actually a great pickup by me sideways. He was able to tag the man upstairs, but he did not kill him, and there's already been a revive. That was pretty quick.
Lomiyagi did just call out center house, though. He knows there's one more there. He's trying to get a shot off. Peeks right now. He'll be able to do that. Will goes down again, though. He'll be out and down.
Another smoke on Nick and Jamie's location on the objective, but again, it went far, so that objective is still completely clear.
Thought is starting to peek up and move up. Nick getting a pick already, but Thought is peeking around the corner, especially with that distraction. He might be able to make a statement. You know he's there.
Jamie readies a grenade for Thought. He throws it past Oslo's catch, and he actually lands the grenade. He's going for the cleanup right there. Thought is out.
It's back in position. Very well played right there. And now it is a 1v3, and they know exactly where Mike is. And his butt is peeking out of the back house. Miyagi, though, has made some amazing kills this game and really held his position well. Is he going to get Mike, though?
Now, he does only have a minute and 15 seconds, and last time the French team just ran out of time. So let's see if he does something a little bit different, just kind of rushes out. Looks like that is what he's going to do.
Rushing out and moving around, trying to find a clear position. So this is going to be an easy feat for him, especially since Jamie at the porch will be able to hear him. Might be able to sneak up, actually. If he goes prone, tries to get up to position, Nick barely missing that peek.
Nick and Jamie are in such a great position. He actually maybe did see him because he is going to lob a grenade on Mike. That's going to be a perfect grenade. But the sandbag protects Mike.
Jamie's running around, going to be peeking that. Mike getting the first kill. Nick's coming in from behind. He might be picked off and dead. Second round, or third round, going to the unit.
That was a very good play for him to realize that he had been spotted out, flank around, and able to take out Jamie. But unfortunately, they were just too fast.
Yeah, and that was And now, of course, we are going to want one person or one team to win finally on the Marsaw, because it seems at this point, especially with how many teams have, or how many points have been won on the defensive side, if you can just break that habit and get one Marsoc win, then it looks like you're pretty much going to be taking this map. And so that's what the unit really needs to hope to do right here, is get that Marsoc win right there. And at that point, then they should be able to secure.
A little bit of housekeeping. It does look like we do have a fifth man now for E.V.F. So I don't know if they're going to just run it 4v5. I don't know what the situation is with that, but I'm assuming that's what they're discussing right now.
Yes, and they still also have the ability to take a timeout, where they will get, if I remember correctly, a 15-minute timer to be able to find a fifth, whether it's a reservist or an actual fifth, and then they're going to be able to continue their game. But Well, they haven't stopped the timer yet, so it might be a 4v5.
And everybody's readied up. It looks like that's what they're going to do. They're just going to take a 45 here. Especially with the 4-man have the advantage right now. They have the 1-point advantage.
That can completely change this first map. Unit now is playing down a man, so they have to do a lot of extra work just to really try to get ahead on this, and they're going to have to play extra careful.
Mr. Miyagi repeatedly saying that code. He wants to make sure he's ready for it. I think he has a cap on his mind.
Oh yeah, especially with this one. This one, we haven't seen it be capped on in a while, but there's always a chance. They are pushing up a lot more aggressively.
All 4 members of the unit have pushed up that center left side. Nobody going right at all down lane 1, and 1 is already taken out.
2 are already taken out. Thought killing 2 instantly and really handling those barriers extremely well. Oh, and almost getting Thought with the nade. It just barely hit that barrier, saving his life. Right now, though, the unit is in a lot of trouble right now. Down 2 players versus 5. One's flanking around, picking up Lomiyagi, but Castiel does get picked off and equalized by Lomiyagi, but they do now know his last position.
Miyagi now is going to have to run the entire gauntlet. It's going to be a 1v4.
Odd is also still moving up. At the same time, E.V.F, they did not have a chance to be able to call out that they did get a kill. So they might still consider that it is 2v4 now.
Miyagi throwing a distraction grenade there. He's going to flank around from the right side. He throws another one towards the center building. Grabbing more from his buddies. He's put as much smoke on the field as he can.
Find best approach. Got nothing but time.
Plenty of time, still over 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, so he can go slow here, which he may very well need to do.
So his first threat's going to have to be taking out Will. He's got to be very careful. He is checking all angles, though, very powerfully. Watching out for everything. Another nade going out on objective, which would have been perfect. There. So he does pick up Will.
Actually, yeah, he picks up Will around that corner.
But they do know his position. Miyagi, though, really helping to lead his team. Right now, he's at 4 kills and 1 death. That 2-story and Thought from his side. Is he going to be able to see him? Thought might have been able to hear that.
Thought is actually in a great position because it's going to be so hard for Miyagi to clear that corner. Yep, just like that. The advantage to Thought's position right there is the fact that Lonely Miyagi actually has to go into the open and look backwards in order to see where Thought is. And it's just so, it takes so much discipline to fully check that corner. And we're all tied up. It is 2-2.
And right now, still, though, the unit is unable to still get a 5th one in. I'm curious. But Looks like they did both agree to it, so they are still able to move. With that being said, they still got 56 seconds. Everything ready.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a little shocked as well. It seems like if maybe they have tried to pull a reservist and nobody was responding, but it seems to me even somebody who you've never played with before, at least it's another body that can give out intel, maybe take out somebody. I feel like that's definitely better than just playing man down. But maybe they've tried those other options and it just hasn't been working for them.
Yeah, I completely agree. At the same time, it seems like their biggest threat right now for the unit is Thought. If they are able to take him out, then they should actually have advantage considering, as he is 6-2 and no one else has gotten too many kills.
Yeah, he's definitely been a playmaker so far. He's been in the middle of just about every encounter. He's thrown a few grenades himself. A lot of grenade kills. We were talking about that earlier, and every round it just keeps going up. How many grenade kills are getting knocked by grenade?
All right, and it looks like we've got tank objective that we are going to have to fight for. This will be very interesting to see if the unit's defense will still be able to hold out, even being down one person. They've been able to have a very strong defense almost the entire time. So this will be a big moment for them. Are taking the mid house pretty strong. It does look like E.V.F is rushing in pretty hard. Will's going to be already checking back door.
Will is actually inside the house with two enemies right above him.
They're going to be able to hear him underneath, though. Ooh, and Will dropping a nade. They heard that and ran away.
Miyagi. I thought it was Miyagi. I'm not sure if there was team fire on sideways position. It looked like it came from Miyagi's direction, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's somebody underneath Miyagi.
Bill, taking this middle house is going to be no easy.
Thought lobs a grenade on Jamie's location. Another grenade casualty.
Absolutely strong, and Thought confirms that kill. Oh, and a very beautiful 2 kills now. It is 3v2, though. That was a trade.
Yeah, Nick was able to secure a kill inside the house as Castiel comes up and clears both members inside the house.
There we go, just like that. Castiel with that kind of rush, absolutely beautiful right there. And moves it up 3-2 right now. Although I do think being down a person has really played a huge factor of that.
Absolutely. Of course, the unit, it was they had a 2-1 advantage with a 4-on-4, and then with Castiel coming in, they haven't lost a round since. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I wonder if they'll take their timeout after this map. Maybe they're just conceding this map, giving somebody else time to be available, and then maybe they'll use the timeout after this map to try and get a 5th member. Otherwise, it's going to be a long road to toe for the unit.
Especially because you do not want to give away that first map loss. That's one of the biggest things to do, but to also lose it and be down a person. They've done a very good job, though. They just need to get that 5th person in and hopefully try to change up the momentum, because right now it is looking like E.V.F. at this point will have it. Is joining, and with the countdown almost. And
Once again, it looks like the unit, they're going to do a little bit of a slow play at the very beginning. They're going to hold till 5 minutes left. They're going to push their initial positions and try and get a pick off. It's very important, actually, for the unit to get early picks now, especially since they're playing man down.
Yep, and they do know that last time the people came out pretty aggressively and really started to rush. So they're really holding back towards spawn to prepare for that.
Not a single one has even crossed the road. They are definitely taking a more defensive approach. They're hoping that that extra man gives them a little bit of overconfidence and they push right into the unit. But so far, showing a lot of discipline. E.V.F holding all of those positions.
Most difficult part about this is, though, is if E.V.F figures out that they are being back at spawn, though, that would be something hard to figure out. They will be able to push up extremely far and make it a very difficult path for the unit to be able to move up in.
Both teams still showing a lot of patience. Nobody wanting to get caught out. Thought is actually doing a great job making sure nobody's coming around the bus. He's darting back and forth, checking both. He's checking two separate angles.
Are starting to move up slowly. Not is still holding position very strong. You have to be careful. That spot has been fragged a couple of times past few rounds. Bot did go for a peek. Me sideways though.
We do have a smoke grenade now in the playground. Thought's going to hear that. He knows somebody's going to be coming up that side.
Sideways is retreating with Lone Miyagi, and they are rotating around. Got to be very careful moving up, though. Watching out for that two-story window peak, but it does look like Castiel is not really peeking.
Me sideways with a heavy push right here. He's about to turn on Mike's position.
Loud. Mike's gonna hear him. Does he spot Mike? He does not spot Mike and gets shot and taken out for it.
That was actually really fortunate for Mike. I don't think Mike heard him. He was looking at the tablet that's at his feet, and he almost made it all the way behind Mike, but Mike saw him at the last second.
Haven't seen that corner play too much. Oh, and now Jamie's running up. A trade. Eight out. He heard it. Ooh, and Stillman.
It still takes out Nick.
And one of the hardest parts about this is you do have to cook your nades correctly. You do not want to cook it for too long or too short. That one was maybe barely cooked for too long, but it still managed to pick up Nick.
Looks like Miyagi may go for the revive right here.
As he should, though. That is a very important pickup to get. You do not want to be a 1v4 right now.
Even after the revive, it's still a 2v4. There's only a minute and 54 seconds left in this round.
Nick has to be very careful.
Yeah, if they don't secure this right here, this will be a map for E.V.F.
Alright, just like that, it does look like E.V.F is going to secure this unless by some miracle Lone Miyagi is going to be able to get some kills. Although last round he was completely shut out from being able to do.
Mansoor is actually in a very strong position to see where Lone Miyagi is going to come out of that house. Laying down behind the bushes, it's going to be very hard for Miyagi to see Mansoor.
one shot. He'll give away his position. He takes one. He shoots at will. Oh, and just barely not able to secure that. E.F.V. won and takes the map 4-2. Very close game until they unfortunately went the 4v5, and E.V.F. takes that.
Yeah, and that's why it becomes important to make sure that not only your in-game strategy is great, but even your out-of-game strategy, because to play the 4v4, there had to be a mutual agreement to do so. So you can't necessarily take that away from E.V.F. at all, because the unit did agree to it. However, it is unfortunate that both teams aren't completely at a 5-man roster right now.
Oh yeah, completely agree. Hopefully they are going to be able to in Anchor. Whoa. Right.
Now, this is a map that you do not see very often at all.
No, not at all. We did have it played last week. Animal House versus Blaze. Yeah, you're exactly right. This is very rarely ever picked. I had to see what they're going to bring to the table as strategies and stuff.
This is by far my favorite map in the game. I love this when it comes into VR Master League as well. It's just always fun to see some of these elite players play a map that really doesn't get a lot of even practice time in public lobbies.
No, not at all. And so it'll be interesting to see if this happens to actually catch off, E.V.F. at all, because they will be able to start on the defensive side. But night maps, it's really kind of a map that you have to really be practiced on. Otherwise, it's very easy to get overwhelmed and taken out. And as this is the unit's choice.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I heard random clicking, and I'm like, that sound exactly like typing. So. At least we picked the correct sides for the names.
It does look like both teams are readied up, and it looks like we're going to continue with a 4v5.
Yeah, no one has started the game yet. Are they still trying to get someone in? Seth, just join the game, man. Just cast from the ground floor. I'll follow you. Also, while we are waiting, guys, we do have a couple of exciting matches still coming your way to look at for today, especially for the matches. What do we have? Well, we have the Hand of Death versus Lords of War, which is already going on. French Onward Union versus Big Red One, which is already going on. And tonight, we have Animal House and Burning Chrome being casted by Buxton and Nightfire. So, really fun matches. Was that a false alarm with that countdown?
Nope, they actually have loaded in.
Oh, there we go. And back at it. But anyway, guys, some really good matches coming. Get pumped for that. Oh, wow, they really fixed the lighting on this. That is beautiful. It used to be impossible to see anyone while casting this, but now it is so bright.
And I actually appear to be bugged, so I will be back in just a couple minutes.
All right, and looks like just right off the bat, we've already started with a Trey Castiel being very aggressive moving up. Especially with when you are up 4v5, it is a little bit easier to be a little bit more aggressive. Another trade. Oh, 2 trades, and just like that, it's over. Me Sideways downed himself with a badly thrown nade, and unfortunately, that killed it. Huh. That was unexpected. much you can do about that. Just like that, the unit, game over. They lost the first round, unfortunately. They still... Very unfortunate. How that ends up going for them. That's just a hard hit to take. Fortunately. Managed to hold it pretty well. But we'll see how E.V.F runs so far. They've been playing very slow play. And if they are going to be able to manage to maybe get a cap on this one has a very high chance of being able to be capped. Gotta be very careful with. Tough situation. And the shield is coming into play. Thought taking the shield for tanker. That is actually a very strong position to take, especially on this map. Got to be very careful about how you're moving. I know in the unit they are going to be playing it a lot more tighter. They're not going to be pushing up nearly as far. Although it looks like Lone Miyagi is going to be that one who does. Castiel, is he going to assume that that's the case? Answer is no. He is taken out immediately. But now his position is given away. Monsiov is underground. Not able. He'll be able to sneak up pretty much exactly. Nick taking out another one. It is a 3v4 right now. Lone Miyagi have a chance to take out a few more people also. They are going to have to be mindful, though, still of the underground. One is still Nick. Not able to get a nade out.
All right, and I have made it back as well.
Well, the unit right now is up 4v3, so... We have one traveling underground. He will be able to come up and take hits. Very quiet. Oh, and just like that, two more taking out the unit. Monsiov, or the last one standing. He takes one out. His position's now given away. Me sideways is possibly going to see him, and does. Down and out for the count. Tied up 1-1. Very strong defense from the unit right there.
Yeah, just listening to the last round, you're commentating. It sounds like they are moving super quick.
Yeah, for the I mean, the unit pushed up very strongly and just held positions, and they just E.V.F wasn't able to really equalize that at all. So
yeah, even that round, that one, even though it took longer, there were still 4 minutes and 25 seconds. I mean, these are definitely going to be a much faster rounds. You're going to see a lot of aggression, and I think part of that goes back to the fact these maps aren't played very well. Or I'm sorry, not very well, aren't played very often. So therefore, you don't have these solid strategies like you would on Downfall or Quarantine. So there's going to be a lot more of rushing, just trying to get into different positions where hopefully you can at least get a trade, or hopefully you can get the upper hand.
Yeah. Now I will say this. The one big mistake I think both teams are making on this map are not using smokes, especially because of how much that can really help create a wall for you to really get some good ground. A lot more teams, especially if I remember correctly, the Danglers were very good at utilizing smokes on this level and really being able to capitalize, getting some strong caps.
Now this location is actually going to be up underneath which is a very easy one to cap. Probably one of the easier ones to cap if you can find the right hole, just because there's so many different options of entry.
Yeah, but at the same time, generally, one thing that we've seen a lot is like all 4 or 5 are going to be right on the objective. And so it's a very hard wall to break through. And it's not generally one you want to peek. They've already got firing down the right hallway. Nick already downed one and killed one. Castiel, though, moving in. Knee sideways, being able to get that refrag. 3v3.
So we are now down to a 3v3.
Exactly. Oh. For him, if he is able to take out one more of E.V.F, absolutely big move, and they're going to be able to possibly even move in for a cap. One is a little bit outside of the objective.
Now, Me Sideways is in the same position as Nick and Mike on this other side, so if they push at the same time, they can cause a lot of chaos and give enough time for Miyagi to sneak in there.
Yeah, it's just trying to coordinate that as a team. That's where the practice comes in, and that's where, you know, being able to move together as a unit becomes a very big stance to take. Okay, Mike is now going to be expecting that. Elves, though, did not turn around.
Nick throws a grenade. It's actually a bad grenade. It hit the door frame. Luckily, no one goes down, friendly or foe.
And that is causing him to move back. Now, at the same time, Me Sideways could use this opportunity of this distraction to start moving up.
Munster in such a great position, tucked behind that barrel.
Taken out again. Me Sideways, though, they are right next to each other. Grabbing a nade and throwing it. And they get caught out right now. 1v2. And this is looking very good for them. They got to figure out where Thought is, though. He's in a very good position. They might have heard him. And the unit moving up a 4v5. Managing move up now 2-1. And now they get to go into defense.
I will say a map like this is going to give I won't say an advantage, but it's not going to be as difficult as some of the bigger maps for the team that's man down. Because you don't have the amount of practice, you don't have the amount of angles that are precise. That makes a lot more room for when chaos happens, a 4-man team could beat a 5-man team, as opposed to something like Downfall, where every person has their set building or their set angle that they're working from.
Yeah, you're right. It does make it a lot more difficult, and it does look like, I mean, hey, the unit's been really practicing this one. Up very well. They've had very strong defense. The first round was a little bit of a fluke. One was taken out with a friendly nade. So far, I mean, they've done a very good job handling this 4v5 on the second map, which... Now we get to see the unit defend this same exact one. Did have a couple who did rush up pretty fast last time and tried to cut them off from the middle. But
There's only 5 seconds left, and Nick has not readied up. I don't know if they're going to try and use a timeout. We do. We have a 5th man.
Oh.
Neox has just joined.
Whoa, plot twist. There we go. Absolutely killed this so far. 6-1 in 3 rounds. We also have Lone Miyagi 4-1 also. I mean, just absolutely crazy. But they got a 5th one. E.V.F has some here now.
This is definitely going to be interesting now, because E.V.F, of course, getting that first map with an advantage. Would the unit have secured that with a 5th man? We'll never know, but now we'll be able to see how they come back at this point. They had the advantage on map 2, and we're about to see if the 5th man was all that it took.
And if they are able to take this map, it will come down to a 5v5 on the last map on who actually takes the game. So, very exciting now.
All right, both teams are ready. Looks like we'll be getting started here in just a moment.
Up to Neox on, hey, this is the game plan. This is what we're trying to do.
Now we are still in that underneath objective, so you're probably going to see a very similar defensive strategy for the unit. They're going to probably all have at least 3 or 4 people in that room, 1 or 2 people down the hallways.
Yep, and it does look like they might be going for a 5-man push all up the one hallway. They're moving up fast. Nick is going to have a big moment here if he comes pre-firing around. Does he? He does! Takes 1 down. Takes 2 down right there.
Yeah, both members are down and out, so there will be no revives. Thought is rocking that stun gun. No, actually he's not. He's got the pistol with the shield.
Taking another 1 down. Nick is killing it right here. Neox downed himself. So it's like it's a 4v4 right now anyway. Thought downed himself.
I was just about to make a comment about the person just joining, downing himself, but then Thought did it, so not quite sure.
They're pushing up hard. Nick finally being taken out, almost clearing the entire team single-handedly. Now there's 1 left. I always thought I would pick up a different gun at this point.
He grabbed a grenade.
Oh, and taken out by Thought. Or Thought gets taken out by Neox, who did just nade himself, but does make a name for himself. And unfortunately dying with the nade at the very end.
And another grenade. Thought and Neox both got grenaded twice in that round. That's excellent.
That is no easy feat to take, but he seems to accept it, the challenge, every round.
I think they both need a Purple Heart after that round.
Beautifully played, though. I mean, the unit is showing absolute dominance on this map and are handling it very well. Nick right now, 10-2 right now. I mean, honestly, at this point, if I was Nick, I'd be like, hey, guys, let's slow it down a little bit. Let's give E.V.F. like 2 more points. That way I can get some more kills and really work on my KD ratio, because that's pretty big.
Absolutely. I'm sure Nick is one of the reasons why they have decided to take this map. Obviously, he feels pretty comfortable with it. Any map that you can get double-digit kills is very impressive. Yeah, I'm curious to see how many more kills does he get in this map.
Oh, completely agree. Intense. And still, Low Miyagi also now 4-1. I mean, everyone around. I mean, Mike and Will have been completely shut out in the 4 rounds. Dominance on the units. They will not waste time. They are getting going. And we're playing the same objective as we played before. The unit now, though, has 5 members, and, I mean, it'll be very interesting to see how they're able to go about it.
Now, one thing about this objective is you can actually cap the objective from inside that red cargo container. If they can get to that position, sometimes it's hard to be seen when you're inside there.
Exactly, and you got to be careful. Cassiel is running underground. Moving up, me sideways might be able to spot him, and it's a trade.
Also, from the viewer point of view, keep in mind that the game for the players is not near as bright as what you're seeing. It is very, very dark.
Yep, and which is why night vision is used a lot. So, for example, if I cut to this person in first person, he does not have night vision right now. Neox might have forgotten it, but because of that, that is the literal view and line of sight that he has right now. Very difficult to be able to make out anything with that, which is why night vision is so important. Have a very hard push from the underground. A team kill comes out. E.V.F. letting the unit get one more man up. Player placement and knowing that is so important. You take knife it and the view that you get, it's not a ton better, but it's enough to make a difference.
Another thing that's interesting is the unit is actually pushing up underneath. The majority of the team has been underneath. Of course, Neox is up top, but usually on this objective you don't see so much of an underneath push.
Yeah, that was something that we saw when this map first came out, but now it's been something that's been done a lot less, until now at least. Has been something that we haven't seen. Smokes are coming out, that's going to cause a little bit of a scurry. Neox is going to be moving up. Shots missed by Will, but Mike gets the kill.
Neox had his pistol out, I thought because he might have ran out of ammo, but then he switched to his primary after he took shots, so I don't know what his plan was right there.
Will gets taken out by Nick. Nick is moving up and around. Gets taken out by Mike. And a nade gets another one. Jamie's going to be moving on to objective. He's going for cap. Is Mike going to be able to see him? No, he is not, because he's taken out. Unit takes the map. 4-1.
Jamie upset about that. He said he had actually hit send
right no.
as his teammate was taken out. However, that is still going to be the map. It was not the 5-point victory they were hoping for, but it still is the 4-point victory. So that is that's going to be 1 map to 1.
Yep. I mean, and you can see from the unit, I mean, this was literally a night and day difference, slight pun intended. But now we get to see what map they're going to pick next. I mean, Nick ending it 11-3. Beautiful job by him, and Lomiyagi only being killed once.
That 11-3 scoreboard, though, that's so impressive.
That's difficult to do, and he... This is a big choice for E.V.F. right now on picking final map. It looks like they have finally made a selection, and it might be going to Downfall. Playing 2 tight, small maps, or smallish maps, and now moving over.
It is. It's going to be Downfall 1.
Big. Interesting to see. They're going to be a sniper on each side? I mean, what are we going to do? Are we going to see some drone action? Drones have just been introduced for Season 6.
Again, talking about the new additions to the game, earlier we talked about the stun gun being partnered with the shield and how teams have started using that quite a bit. But yeah, the drone. The drone has such a great advantage for the attacking team. It does take up quite a bit of utility points, but the ability to be able to drop that drone out when there might be a 1-on-2 situation or things like that, to get an idea of where a camped enemy is just invaluable.
Exactly. Well, and that's the nice part especially, is even if your drone is flying around and having a hard time spotting opponents, people are going to be shooting at it. And so it's, if anything, giving away a couple of positions and giving still some very valuable map knowledge.
Absolutely, and then of course the way that the drone has been implemented is so easy to control. You can actually fly it into buildings. You can fly it underneath. You can actually use it as a spotter. One of the objectives you are able to cap, actually two of them, you can cap from underneath inside the basement, and you can fly that drone in ahead of time and just leave it there and make sure no one is in that basement prior to you rushing in.
That's a really good point.
I may or may not have had that happen against me before.
Oh, that's that's interesting. That's awesome. That's horrible that it happened to you, but that's awesome.
I agree. On both points. Rod is definitely giving out a lot of commands. I don't know what he's saying because I don't speak French, but it definitely sounds like they have a solid strategy on this very, very quick spawn.
Got to be careful, though, especially on that spawn. You want to try to figure out your positions on if you're crossing or staying close as soon as possible, because you do not want to give away your spawn position right off the bat. I have.
If Mike peeks, he could very easily get tagged by Jamie. Jamie has a perfect line of sight on that position.
Last bungalow, you know the bungalow where the objective can be.
Yep.
Jamie, of course, calling that position out.
Spots one. He's going for the sniper shot.
Second floor of North HQ.
Thought actually just landed a very, very long-range snipe onto the objective building, taking one out.
That's impressive. That's tough to do, and it does look like, yeah, each side has a sniper on it now.
Another one by Thought. Thought now taking out Neox.
North HQ, one's just gone out.
Je vois c'est lui qui galère sur Castiel. Il doit être derrière, mais il doit tirer sur Castiel plus loin.
Biggest things about defense, you want to be extremely careful about your peaks. You don't want to have to give away your position on accident, or, you know, peek at the wrong time and have a sniper just pop you right in the head.
Absolutely, and of course, Nick able to take out one of E.V.F right there. Nick, Sideways, and Jamie, they are in great positions. They've each taken a different line. So anybody going for that objective, they're going to have to swing around the outsides to find any blind spots. So any push through the middle will be seen, and then it's just a matter of who has the better gun skills.
Folks are coming out to try to get a push up. Up and try to take that mid hotel. One is going to be up. Will Jamie be able to pick him off? Fortunately, no.
I believe Jamie sees Castile. Suppressive fire coming from Castile onto Jamie's location. That allows the two team members to make it to Center Hotel.
Ooh, and Nick picking off Mike as he's running into the mid hotel. He did not see the other one moving in, but his position is now given away. That's where one of his fallen comrades already has been.
So we do have a 3v3 situation here. Thought has relocated. He's all the way on the backside, honestly, right at where they spawned. So he's made it all the way back to his initial spawn point, just trying to see if he can tag anyone with the 12x sniper rifle.
Nick took a shot. It wasn't enough to take him out. He's had to use the syringe, though. At this point, though, I would call out to my team. I'd be like, guys, just don't peek. We've got 2.5 minutes left. Just let them get into position. Nick, though, gets Castiel taken out to...
What a great rotation by Nick. I don't know if he knew that Castiel was outside of the building or not. It seemed like he did, because he rushed, turned the corner, and instantly took down Castiel. Great shot on the backside of that central bungalow.
Are hitting the 2 Mark, they are still a little bit far away from objective. They're going to have to start making a move up, as they might start hitting into some trouble. Taking out Jamie. Jamie caught out of position.
That was a great shot by Thought. That suppressed sniper. First shot hit him. There's not much you can do when you get caught out like that.
Was very surprised that Jamie actually chose to get out of position that far also. I mean, there wasn't much round he could make that would make it worth it enough for the unit to have that big of an advantage. Now, though, he will be able to be calling out to his team where he spots the final two.
Yeah, that push by Jamie was probably just a little bit of impatience on his part, but yes, it actually is providing great call-outs.
Now they know where the last one is. Thought's got some work cut out for him with a minute left. 2v2, but he might be able to take one out right here. Mike gets back into position, moving on to objective. Don't have anyone watching.
Not only is Thought 1v2, but he also is currently tied to a sniper rifle and a pistol. So if he wants to make a hard push, it might be best for him to run back, grab a rifle, but he only does have 38 seconds left.
Hope that he's been able to check his clock. Know that he only has 30 seconds. No idea how much time is actually left, and he's trying to suppress, trying to move up. Seconds left. He's got to get 2 kills. If he just throws a nade in there, heck, he'll be able to get them both.
Oh, he tried to make it across the dumpster. He was going for a cap. He didn't realize that he was completely blocked in by the stone there.
Just made it onto objective, but unfortunately that did get him. Unit wins the first round and are one step closer now to winning this match. Also, for those of you who are just tuning in and have not seen the score yet, it is currently Suburbia went to E.V.F. What was it? 4-2, if I remember correctly. And then after that, it was 4-1 on Tanker. The unit took that one, and right now, for those of you joining us, it is 1-0 on Downfall. Very tight games, though. I mean, it's seen some very sharp shots. I've been surprised on how crucial nades have been on this.
There have been more grenade kills in this match, almost as many as rifle kills. There have been so many grenade kills, especially on the first 2 maps. However, I do want to point out, we are back to a 4-on-5 situation. Okay, Nick just unrated. No, the unit has fully readied up with 4 men. So I don't know the situation there, but we may be going back to a 4v5 disadvantage for the unit, which did not work out so well in map 1.
No, not at all. But at the same time, Nick again is at 4 kills and 1 death. And almost clearing the entire team single-handed.
All right, everybody is readied up. They have 5 seconds to use another timeout. Or I guess technically use their first. They didn't use a timeout the first time. No, the round is starting.
Able to come in for a second, and now has to go again.
Or could be having some technical issues as well. And it's going to be another short spawn.
Like Momiyagi's going to be trying to do the sniping up on the 2nd floor. Trying to get some pickoffs. Shots fired from the very beginning to try to get maybe a lucky pickoff. Although they are pushing extremely aggressive. 2 of them taking mid-hotel. 1 being taken out. Nick down. And that was their main killer.
Yeah, Will and Mike both in that center hotel. It's going to be really hard for the Marsoc to push up through there. They're going to have 2 different vantage points from the largest building in the center of the map.
At the same time, right now, it doesn't look like anyone is flanking around to try to get a wide view on the north-south Marsoc area up at the top of the hill. Looks like they're all just charging straight towards the objective, so they have a little bit of work cut out for them. Especially having 3 on objective.
Now, the one benefit to the unit winning that first round is now, if they can win every time that they're on defense, which is arguably easier than an offensive attack, they can actually still win this map.
At this point, though, one is down. Jamie did get taken out. Looks like Me Sideways is going to maybe be going for the revive.
He does get the revive.
But still, it is a 3v5, and they do have some work cut out for them. If they are able to somehow take the mid-hotel with little to no casualties. 8 out. Is it going to be enough? No. That way too early. Yeah, at least 3 more.
Now, there still is a lot of time left as well, but unfortunately for the unit, they are down to a 3-on-5 situation.
One is flanking around extremely wide, but another one taken out. Jamie taken out by Mike. Miyagi living up to his name, though.
He's going to definitely need to pull off some plays right here for sure. Him and Sideways, they're going to have to figure something out. Even if they clear the 2 out of the center hotel, that's just the beginning, because you have 3 men on objective. It is going to be very hard for them to clear the field.
At the same time, one of the easiest things is if they can take the mid-hotel, he might be able to crawl in and cap right in front of Castiel. That would be just a capture against 3 players, but it's one that's very possible. Again, he is very far from objective. Sideways seems to be just pretty much at all.
And at this point, they're not going to really be able to do much of a flank either, because you do have Mansour, who's actually going to be sitting in the basement of that building, so they can't even try and go for a basement cap either.
Sideways has used a ton of ammo at this point.
Now, Miyagi has actually made it all the way around the backside. He's going really slow for only 1:45. I think he expects there to be somebody in the white building, but he's made it all the way behind. It's going to be interesting to see if he's able to get back into the fight here before he runs out of time.
Doesn't seem like they're really managing their best of their ability right now.
And Mr. Miyagi looking to pick someone off, but he needs to get down in there. I mean, it's 2-on-5.
Got to be very careful right now, though. Castiel right now is now no longer covering the basement. As run in, Me Sideways getting 1 kill, taking out Castiel. Now running right around Me Sideways. Mike checking.
48 seconds.
Folks are coming out, though. They got to get... Miyagi needs to run onto objective now. He doesn't exactly have the most time to waste. Basement's clear, though. If he just is able to run through, he'll be able to cap. He has 34 seconds.
Me Sideways, memorize that code. However, Will's going to be able to see him in the back here.
Oh, they barely missed each other. Oh, he didn't hear the shots, though. And because of that, that is it. E.V.F taking it. He didn't hear the shots come out from under the basement. Took his tablet and started cap, although he had plenty of time to do it. So close.
Now, I really like that they did put that one man in the basement. A lot of people don't want to give up a basement person. Now, the good news about that basement is there at least is a window to shoot from, but some of them you have no sights whatsoever, and even then, it's so beneficial because if Mansur had not been in that basement, then that would have been a cap and a 3-point lead for the unit because Miyagi had plenty of time once he got inside, and with all the chaos of them shooting it sideways, he would have clearly gotten that objective.
Exactly. Lone Miyagi did an absolutely fantastic job at making sure and timing that right, just because the other side was doing a great job at distracting. They had no idea where Lone Miyagi was at, and he did that very well. Fortunately, it didn't pay.
Nick still sitting with his 4 kills and 2 deaths, but Thought on the flip side, rocking the sniper rifle. He's currently 5 kills, no deaths, leading his team right now.
Had some very, very high kill counts on the side. It's been great to watch.
Now we are finally going to be moving the objective. We're going to be moving it over here to the northern side. And it's going to be another quick spawn.
Another moment where we have a 4v5 as well.
Oh, my mistake. It's going to be a central spawn. It's not going to be a quick spawn.
I mean, still, though, the unit's defense has been absolutely strong.
Yeah, again, going back to what I said earlier, if the unit cannot give up a point on defense, then they'll win simply because they'll run out of maps.
Castiel getting hit, but not out. He is having a sigh of relief as he heals himself real quick.
They do have Nick in that basement. Once again, important spot.
Oh, Castiel taking two.
Yeah, he was able to get 2 right there. Meanwhile, Will is actually flanked all the way around. He's come through the valley, and he's coming up through the center of the town as well.
Well, at the same time, knowing that it is a 4-on-5, you just have the opportunity to really do some suppressing and start moving in for the cap. That's what I would do. I would start suppressing that upper window, pushing him back, and then telling Castiel to run in for the cap, because he has nothing but the advantage right here. I would not go for that kill. And that pushback Nick, and now Castiel can just run up and get the cap.
Yeah, Nick did a great job there. He moved completely out in the open. He knew his time was it was about to be cut short, so he knew better to take the death than to lose the objective.
Yep, and E.V.F wins. Up 2-1. That was a Marsoc win. That is a big deal because and now they have to try to attack being down a person. That might have just been round to change the map. Give ultimately F the win.
Unfortunately for the unit, I'm trying to remember how many rounds they've played man down. I think there were 6 rounds played man down so far. I think it was 6. And I don't think they've won a single one that they've played 45. So I'm sorry, they did win the last time on defense on this map. So they won 1 of 6, I believe. So very, very high numbers to have to come back from. So not only are you man down, you're also point down on the last map. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out.
I mean, at the same time, though, Thought now 7-0. That's Nick has been able. 18 seconds left. fighting for a reserve so hard right now. Just in between rounds, I'd be saying, hey, is there any reservist or anything? Because they have been able to make a huge difference with being up that one person. But
Now, Castiel didn't ready up. Oh, there he goes. Yep, he is ready. So we're going to do 5v4 again. This is actually a pretty fun objective. Of course, the game has changed a little bit where you can't use the chopper like you used to be able to use the chopper. So some new strategies have come out with that. But this is always a pretty fun one because that objective can be attacked from multiple angles, but it is completely exposed as well.
up, trying to get a peek from a window. It doesn't look like he is going to be able to find anyone initially.
And unfortunately for the unit, because they are manned down, they are not able to use anyone as a dedicated sniper as well. So everybody is stuck with the red dots and hollow sights.
A very difficult battle to make, especially because the majority of this is fair.
Thought is also in a great position. Of course, he has dropped his scope and he's down to a hollow sight as well. But he's in a great position to see any movement over towards North Hotel or even down towards the chopper. He's going to be able to give some heads up. The only thing he won't be able to see is if anybody gets into the red truck building.
So, and it does look like the big reason they are playing with only 4 is Neox is currently on a cooldown as well, and so he's unable to unfortunately play.
Gotcha. So I don't know if they actually see Mike in the hotel or they just know that people like to stand in that dark room. And so they are firing multiple shots into that doorway, hoping to luckily pick off somebody.
Doing a very good job at, if anything, not getting picked off initially and really starting to move into position. They each are in a very key point. Now are with that's left, starting to be able to make.
Yeah, of course, Nick has made it through the valley. He's about to be at the second entryway from the valley. He's going to be able to start that push, but he does have quite a ways to go, and they've already used half of their time.
Might be able to spot one in the building.
I'm pretty sure Nick has seen him. He did. 2 shots, and he takes him out quickly. Great shots by Nick.
Get into a 4v4.
They really need this point. They are down to only 2 minutes and 15 seconds. They need this point because they did lose one on Volk, and that was their security point. Now, one thing that shot did is it does redirect the attention of the rest of the team because there have not been very many shots from the north side, even though there are 2 members over there.
Doing their best to pin down the guy who just got the kill. Now, I would use this opportunity to really start moving up, although there is a very dangerous threat over with Will. But still, he's not looking over towards the north, and now that That's frag. Is it enough? It did! The grenade killed him when he got downed by me sideways.
Now, Nick is actually revivable. And Sideways is going to go for this revive. If this revive goes in, it's going to be a 4-on-3 with 1:20 left for the unit.
Again, though, they need to keep track of that time. They haven't been able to do that before the revive does come. They need to know there's 1:15 left, and they need to push hard now.
And Mike is in a great position. That smoke is not going to block Mike's line of sight at all. But they do trade.
Oh, and just like that, it's 1v2. Thought got some very strong kills.
Thought hasn't moved from this position the entire map. Great vantage point to see them turn that corner and just takes them both out.
42 seconds left, though. He does not have time to be moving around like this.
So he may have just ran and grabbed some utility.
Knows how much time is left. Smoke is coming out. Oh, he did spot one. And is unable to secure that. The unit just barely got eliminated.
Thought, once again, coming in big. Look at Thought's kills. Thought is now 10-0 on this map. What a map he is having so far. He has been involved with every engagement, cleaning up the last 3 members of that round, even though they were man down, or I'm sorry, even though they were, they were 1 man down.
Absolutely, and not being able to pull that off. This is his map, just like Nick was map on Tanker. I mean, just absolutely dominating this. How well they're handling it. And with that being said, though, this might be the very last map, or the last round. E.V.F can secure this.
If E.V.F does get the win here, that should be a lesson to the unit to let them know. Listen, even if we're man down, we either need to force it to be a 4v4, like come up with an agreement with the other team, or it's just that important. You have to get a reservist. It is so important to have that extra body, even if it's not an experienced league player. You need that extra body for intel. Even if it's just a bullet sponge, it's better than having nothing.
Completely agree. Completely agree. And here we go. Man, what is Thought gonna do now?
Thought he does have the large scope. He's moving around that northern hotel. I wonder if he's going to take the hotel and just snipe the rest of this map.
Be a strong point to make. They have to do. They're already up a man. They just have to, I mean, if they get one more kill without it being a trade, that's going to be an absolutely big momentum push that they're going to be able to have.
Yeah, and their movement right now is pretty textbook. They have 2 members that are going to be flanking around through the valley. They're going to send 1 man ahead just in case there's somebody in the white building. That way there's a little bit of an alert system for the second man. 2 more men are going to go right through the center, and then they're going to hold a sniper at North Hotel.
The further one first, and then we'll be moving to check the white tower. Check that window, though.
Now Mike is actually flanked high. He's going to take the southern ridge. He's actually off the map. He's going to go all the way up high. I don't know if I hear Will talk. I don't know if he's calling out the that Miyagi's in the white building. I'm pretty sure he did just see Miyagi and called it out. So that's going to give Mike an alert up the hill to look down on that white building and hopefully get somebody through the window.
Well, Miyagi might have barely spotted him also, so that's going to... Miyagi comes in peak. High chance that he is going to be taken out. We have one who is going... Mike FJ. Kills to his advantage. Might actually be able to pick one off who is on objective if he is able to spot him from all the way up here. Be able to see that movement. He does. He's waiting for the clear shot. Almost got taken out himself. That's giving Will a chance to move up with that cover fire coming his way.
Ooh, those fires are just missing. Mike with a great shot on Jamie there. Jamie again poked out just a little too far. That's the same position he overshot earlier. And he got taken out from Mike up the hill.
Will's movement right here is going to be absolutely crucial for Low Miyagi. He's going to have to catch Low Miyagi out. He has the chance to. His footsteps are being very loud. Spots him.
Actually, Mike, if he can get down the hill, can pick up Will. Will is still alive. He's just down. But at the same time, you have Nick, who his shots have been on point. He's watching that doorway, although he just moved his attention.
Yep, and Castiel managing to get into the center hotel. Pushing up very nicely, and that gave away another position. So Castiel's going to know right where it is. He starts shooting. Not even looking. Sometimes the spray and pray does pay off. In this case, not really.
It is a 4.5 on 2 right now. If they can get that revive, it'll be back to a 5 on 2.
Another one taken out. The objective is now down, and it is 1. He Sideways is in trouble right now. He's heard the shots, but he's unable to really cover the objective.
They do only have 1 minute and 35 seconds left. Now, 2 times they've ran out of time so far this match.
Really good point, but they are moving on to objective. They are starting to really push hard. Almost a team kill. Friendly shots coming out.
Now, Me Sideways is going to be able to hear Monsieur talk just there. It's calling out those the friendly fire.
At the same time, that's giving the chance for one to move in on the other side. Castiel is going to be going for the cap.
He doesn't have a tablet. He just called out. Oh, but still, E.V.F. won. The only word in French I could understand is tablet, so I knew that he had dropped his tablet, so he wasn't able to put in the code, but E.V.F. is able to take out Me Sideways.
Oh, man, and with that being said, though, guys, thank you so much for being here. Wow, absolutely beautiful games. With that being said, that went down almost to the wire. Fortunately, though, the unit just wasn't able to play at full power, and that made a big difference.
Yeah, I would like to point out on the last map, Thought did end up with 9 kills because unfortunately he did have a team kill in the last one, so he wasn't able to hold his double-digit kills. But great rounds by Nick and by Thought. Both of them definitely coming in strong for each team, and like you said, playing 4v5, that's not an easy task for anyone, especially at this level of play. That one extra person could have been the difference.
Definitely, and now we get to see what's going to be going on today, guys. Feel free to tune in to the Animal House versus Burning Chrome. That is going to be one to see, and with that said, me and Seth, we are signing out. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks for watching, everybody.